Laser sights can deter threats and aid in quick target identification, enhancing your ability to protect your family, home, and country. Crimson Trace, making laser sights standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
The number one national voice in defense of your Second Amendment rights. Gun Talk, available on iTunes and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for Android and iPhone. To be on the air with Tom, call us now, 866-825-5486 or 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom.
Right back at you, Tom Gresham. It is hour 3 of Gun Talk, and we're having fun still. Isn't that amazing? We just keep talking about guns and having a good time. Although, it's a little bit, shall we say, stressful right now. 9 days from the election, counting down, and things are moving, things are changing, things are happening. If you've just gotten back from a duck hunt and you have not turned on the TV or listened to anything in the last 48 hours, wow. Things are happening really, really fast. The director of the FBI, Comey, announced or sent a letter to Congress on Friday saying, hey, we just found tens of thousands of Hillary emails on Anthony Weiner's computer. Yeah, that Anthony Weiner, the guy who's been investigated for sexting minors, the guy who's married to Huma Abedin, who is Hillary Clinton's closest aide. And everybody's going, what? Why are Hillary Clinton's emails on Anthony Weiner's computer, and how did they get there, and what do they contain, and are there classified materials on there? Of course, he's not cleared for classified materials. It's amazing. And even before that happened, the polls were closing incredibly, closed 10 points. It's a dead tie right now. It's a dead tie before this was announced on Friday. No telling what's going to happen Monday, Tuesday when we get new polls out. Crazy times, crazy stuff going on. And yet we're still talking about our guns and the cool stuff and the new stuff, and we're going out and doing some shooting. We're all looking for guns. We're all looking for ammo and trying to find out what's going on. And so part of that, we'll bring in our good friend Tom Taylor. He's with Sig Sauer, as you know only too well. Hey, Tom, didn't I just see you?
Yes, we just had dinner the other night.
How about that? We were just at the NASGW show, the Sporting Goods Wholesalers show in Kansas City, and seeing some new things there. It's an interesting, smaller show, but a lot of times manufacturers do show new things there. And of course, I always have to recalibrate myself, Tom, to think about Sig Sauer, because I have thought about the company as a gun company for so long, but now it is so much more than a gun company. You're an ammo company, you're an optics company, you're a suppressor company, you're a who knows what you're getting into next.
Oh, training, air guns. We've sort of the new moniker that we like to put out there is that we're a complete systems provider. If it touches a gun or is related to a gun, we're into it, and we make it. We engineer it, we quality assure it. We do all those things. So it's really not like any model anyone else in the outdoor industry is using.
All right, so let me just I'm going to shift over for just a second, because you guys do all these different things, and you are a pretty sharp cookie. You are looking at the election, and I'm sure everybody's analyzing, and it was part of the conversation at the show of which way is it going to go, and what do we do if. Any crystal ball as far as what happens to the gun industry, or what's at stake with all of this?
Well, I think we're talking to a lot of consumers and our customers, who buy and sell for us, retailers, distribution partners, and the best definition of all the conversations, all the research, going back and looking at history of elections and Democrats and Republicans, who's favored and all those things. The crystal ball is about as murky as it's ever been, is all I can come up with. The industry and gun sales did turn around a couple of weeks ago after a little lull. After the end of the summer, things seem to be settling down, and then as fast as they settle, they peak back up again. And then, as we were flying home from the wholesaler show last Friday, all the news started breaking about this latest round of Hillary shenanigans, and so I don't know. I think the way we're looking at it is we think that any way the market goes and the Second Amendment battle goes, we think the first half of 2017 at a minimum should be pretty interesting for various reasons. Even if Trump is elected, there's still a lot of things going on in the market that we think will keep it pretty robust.
Okay. Well, now, you guys are doing all kind of new things, and there's some of the things that people know about. You've got all these great guns, and you, of course, you've become not just dabbling into ammo. You dived into the deep end with chains wrapped around you. I mean, holy cow! You're building a new ammo plant.
Yeah, we'll be opening in a couple of months a new factory in Jacksonville, Arkansas, and we'll be making most of our own components. Our own brass. Sig doesn't really dabble. It's a company that when it puts its foot on the accelerator has really gone in wholeheartedly to these categories. I would say there's none that we're dabbling in at all, whether it's Sig Academy, it's been around for years and continuing to grow that business and training, or all the other categories we've entered. We have military and law enforcement contracts that are starting to add our components, our ammo, our optics, our suppressors, to the guns, and that was the model. That was the dream of what we wanted to create. And the next frontier is beginning to sell it all together. This is something you and I have talked about a little bit, but even the way we go to market is changing in terms of the way most companies do, because everything's sold under one brand.
So, what is the Sig store in a store? What is that?
Yeah, we about a little over a year ago, September of 2016, we launched a few stores that were called Sig Store in Stores, and they're, again, in keeping with Sig fashion. These are significant fixtures, flooring, overhead signage, and you go into generally local retailers. This isn't a big box retailer initiative. It's a local retail initiative.
It's a gun store.
It's a local gun store, and there's about 400 square feet. So if you imagine when you walk into a Dick's Sporting Goods, and to your left there you see the Nike section or the Under Armour section, we've put together something very similar that has all of the Sig componentry together, the firearms and all the accessories, as well as IQ bars with tablets and televisions, videos playing all the time, and it has a dedicated employee from the store working those sections. So it's we're hoping, we kind of think about the Sig brand as if those major brands can do it, why can't we? Other conglomerates in the industry, which some of which are very successful, don't really operate under one brand. Vista Outdoors has Savage and Federal and Black Hawk and several very good brands, and Smith & Wesson has some good brands, and Remington Outdoor Companies have a lot of good brands, but not any of them operate under one brand, like Sig.
Under one name, like Sig.
That's what we're trying to accomplish at retail, to put all of our different categories under one area.
I don't know if anybody's ever mentioned it. When you walk up to the Sig store, I got a chance to look at one. For me, my initial reaction was, it's an Apple store with guns in it. It looks like that. It's very high tech. It's very cool, very well lit. The whole thing is it's like, it's this cool little world of Sig stuff right here inside of the gun store. It's an Apple store is what it is.
Well, we've definitely tried to study good brands outside the outdoor industry. Apple, if you look at the packaging and the optics come in, or the suppressors, it feels like an iPhone box. Or if you look at what the counters and such in the stores feel like, it does feel like more of an upscale store. So that's what that was the look and feel we were trying to go for. I think Sig's brand has a good quality reputation, and that's what we've been trying to achieve.
All right, I've been teasing this for a few minutes here, but you've got to tell people about the mobile shooting range, which is one of the cooler concepts with tons of potential.
Well, yeah, we have some trainers around the country, and they have little vans, and you can pull up in front of a store, and people can walk into the van, and they can touch and feel things. But that's fun and good, but you can't shoot it. And what do we all want to do? We want to shoot guns. And, when we have a range, that's great. But in places where we don't have a range, we've launched an initiative, and we've got our first 2 or 3 sort of test events behind us. and it's basically a 18-wheel trailer that has 3 lanes in it, and it's pistol and rifle qualified, and you can step up to the little stairs up the back, and you can shoot downrange in this 18-wheel trailer.
Okay, so you pull this thing into the parking lot of the gun store that does not have a range, and you can shoot not just pistols, but you can shoot rifles inside of this mobile shooting range?
Yeah, it's rifle rated, yep.
Whoa. I mean, that is so neat. The whole idea, basically shut it off, turn on the ventilation system, and you've got a shooting range in the parking lot.
Yeah, and it's so exciting for retailers who just don't have that luxury, because stores that have a range have a huge advantage to be able to have people test their guns and shoot them and even make revenue off of it. And what we like to think is, at SIG, is if you shoot one of our guns, we like to think we have an advantage because we trust our quality and the craftsmanship and the performance of our guns. And so we love for people to shoot them, and the retailers are so excited. It also gives us the opportunity to go to special events, and we really do a good job with safety. We have SIG Academy instructors there to help. Those guys are highly trained, obviously, for training and safety and that sort of thing. So
if a gun store wants to do this, how do they go about that? How does that work?
Well, I'd say the best way is to just touch base with their local rep. I mean, they can always call into our. They should all have what's called inside sales customer service line, but typically we have 40 plus sales reps around the country, and hopefully they know who that is, and they can touch bases with them, and we can see. The only restriction is in a few places, as you can imagine. There's might be city ordinances and things like that we have to navigate, but typically once we get through that, we love to do it, and it's just starting now, and we're looking forward to expanding the program dramatically.
It's a neat concept. Now, while I've got you here, I got to get to talk about a thing that's near and dear to both of our hearts, the group Honored American Veterans of Field, HAVA, and you've always been involved with this, and you just completed your latest shoot, having veterans out at the San Antonio range. Give me an update on HAVA.
Yeah, we just had a wonderful day last Saturday down in San Antonio. We used the San Antonio Police Training Academy. We had another 300 people. It was a beautiful day, and they just continue to get better and better. But one thing you and I've talked briefly about, and you've been following, is as we continue to grow and people continue to support HAVA when other organizations may be not spending money so wisely or not supporting the Second Amendment the way we would like, more and more support has been coming toward HAVA, which has enabled us to expand into a new program that is just unbelievably exciting. It's called HAVA's Learn to Shoot Again program, LTSA, and this started bubbling probably nearly 2 years ago because a number of our key volunteers at HAVA are significantly wounded or injured, and including paralysis or missing limbs and that sort of thing. And when you're in that situation, it's obviously it's very challenging to learn to shoot. And hence the word again. And
right.
A gentleman named Rick Cicero and his wife Lynn began to develop strategies for people to shoot who have significant disabilities, and this rolled into a program where we got about a dozen folks who have significant disabilities certified as NRA instructors, and then about a month ago they all came up to SIG Academy, and one of our instructors just about a year ago last week stepped on a landmine over in theater and lost both legs, and he was one of our top trainers, and he devoted himself to training these folks of how to develop strategies. And so we had that go on at SIG Academy, and now they're going to launch into doing 2 and 3 day sessions with people who need to learn a different way to shoot a firearm. And it's absolutely just one of the most. When you watch these guys work together with other people who have injuries like that, we've done some really cool things with HAVA, and it just continues to be emotional, and that's why people almost never leave as sponsors, because what we've been able to accomplish over 10 years, and we're going into our 10th year now, and this just is another step in the maturation of an organization.
It's just terrific. I want people to be able to go take a look. On the web, it's honoredveterans.org, honoredveterans.org. And you're going to have more about the Learn to Shoot program on the website, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, we're going to be adding it to the website. Of all things, Tom, it's odd because we've had to be a little careful with how we propagate our events. Some of the HAVA events have been identified as high risk, and so DOD is actually working with us on ways that we communicate. It's usually through back channels, but you mean
high risk as far as terrorism attacks?
That's what we've been told.
Wow.
Obviously, there's a very large group of very important Americans, and we've always struggled with how to communicate, and most of our recruitment for events and things like that has always been done directly through the bases and the hospitals and the halfway houses and things like that, and it's a little challenging, but there's definitely information out there, and we definitely want to get more information on there about LTSA. So as that program develops over the next coming weeks, you'll definitely see another sort of page on our website that gives you more information about how to get in touch with those folks. Because obviously that one is one where it's a little more specific.
Sure.
Hey, I've got this challenge, and I can't figure out how to shoot. And if you want folks who've been trained at the highest level, both before their injuries, a lot of these guys have been special forces guys, and they may have lost a limb or whatever, and now they've come up with some different strategies to shoot.
That's just very cool, Tom. I appreciate it. Again, the website, honoredveterans.org, and, of course, obviously, sigsauer.com to get all the information, everything that's going on at SIG. Tom Taylor, thank you so much. We'll get you back on again because there's way more than we can do at one time. And besides that, it's always fun to get together with you. Tom Taylor from Sig Sauer, sigsauer.com. All right, open lines for you, 866-TALK-GUN, 866-TALK-GUN. Be right back.
After a long workday, you need a break when you get home. That's when it's trigger time. With quality adult air guns that are powerful, accurate, and quiet, and cost just pennies to shoot. We are Pyramid Air. We know air guns. Let our experts with more than 150 years of combined air gun experience help find the right air gun for you. Get your trigger time, anytime, for less. PyramidAir.com.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
If you're a hardcore duck hunter, Mossberg has a gun for you. The new Pro Series shotguns were designed and built to be the most reliable, most durable semi-automatic duck guns anywhere. Rain, ice, snow, it doesn't matter. When the weather gets tough, these new Mossberg shotguns will keep the shot flying and the ducks falling. This season, don't leave anything to chance. Head to your blind with one of the new Pro Series shotguns from Mossberg. Great performance at a great price. Learn more at mossberg.com.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you know you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Bata Group. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
The Black Hills. There's nothing like it on Earth. The kind of place where characters become legends. Wild Bill Hickok, Crazy Horse, Calamity Jane. Pick any part of the world and you'll find people go there to make it their own. But this is where people come to get made. This is the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth. Black Hills Ammunition.
Back with you. Ed's on line 3, Toledo, Ohio. Ed, thank you for your patience. What happened in your basement, partner?
Well, my son had given me a call. We were out, me and my wife, and he says, it's raining so hard, Dad. He said, the water's coming up through the basement. I go, oh, geez, we'll be right there. So me and my wife, we rushed right home, and we found about a foot of water. So I thought it was maybe closer to 2, but my wife said, nah, it's closer to 1. But nonetheless, I had quite a bit of ammunition downstairs in the gun cabinet. The gun cabinet did, in fact, fill up with some water, and the ammunition was sitting in its original carton. Some of it was just stacked on top of each other. And then there was other ammunition that were actually in the cases. So, and I'm guessing maybe anywhere from an hour to 2 hours that it may have been underwater.
What kind of ammo?
I'm a little concerned about some of that.
What kind of ammo we're talking?
9mm and 45 caliber laser brass.
Okay, I'm going to give you the official answer, and then I'm going to give you the Tom answer. How's that?
Okay.
The official answer is don't take a chance, dispose of it, don't shoot it. The Tom answer is 2 hours, I wouldn't worry about it, I would shoot it. But, and there's the big but, you don't know what's happened here. You don't know if there's an issue here. So, when you, first of all, I would not trust any of it for self-defense. Period. Would not. This becomes range ammo. I don't care what it is. But the other part of that is be alert for a squib load, where if there a little water got in there and deactivated some of the powder, you get a load where it's enough to go pop, but not a bang, just kind of a pop, a little different sound, different feel. A bullet could get stuck in the barrel, and now you fire the shot behind it, and you have a barrel obstruction.
Oh, boy.
So that's what you have to be careful about. Probably with a pistol, probably it doesn't hurt you, probably, but the probablys are really kind of, that doesn't help you a lot. So just be careful, try it. Obviously, by now you've dried it all out. You've gotten it out of the wet cases, I'm assuming, at this point.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, okay. I would try it. I would probably shoot it. I would not, now, like I say, none of it becomes reliable for self-defense, but for range ammo, I would probably go with it. Just try it and see what happens. If you get one or two squib loads or problem, then stop. All of the ammo is contaminated. You got to get rid of all of it. But if it's working for you, just keep shooting it. But remain alert. Just be alert for that possible light load, squib load, which could leave a bullet stuck in the barrel. And then, of course, as I say, you get a full load behind that, you've got a barrel obstruction, got a problem. 866-TALK-GUN. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk. Give me a shout.
Gun Talk encourages you to support the local sporting goods store, gun stores, ATV dealers, and other local businesses in your area who advertise on this station and Gun Talk. Only together can we protect our rights. You're listening to Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All right, let's talk about some guns. 866-TALK-GUN, get you in here, or just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Matthew is on line 2. He's done exactly that. Calling in from Gaston, South Carolina. Matthew, what you looking for?
I'm looking for what basically would be a range toy and also something that'd be small enough to carry also.
Okay, give me a little bit of information about your background. What guns do you have now? What kind of shooting do you do?
I mainly do the target shooting kind of deal, but I do want to get into maybe like 3 guns. So I'm thinking something I could maybe use in that also, so I don't have to get another one, and then another one, and then another one, and fill up my whole entire thing. You don't understand, Matthew. That is the goal, is to get another one and another and another one. We're not trying to avoid doing that. No, I understand what you're saying. You want to get something that will do multiple use. What are you shooting now? What kind of guns do you have now? I have 9mm and a 22 in pistols, and that's about all. But I have shot a 45 caliber 1911 deal, also as a rental.
What 9mm pistol do you have?
That'd be a Ruger's old style LC9.
Okay, so that's a decent carry gun. That's a good carry gun. So I would say hold on to that as your carry gun. And it sounds to me like here's the problem. If you get a true competition gun, it's not going to be terrific as a carry gun, generally speaking. So you already have a decent carry gun. I think at this point what you need is a decent range gun for USPSA or IDPA type shooting, a 3-gun shooting, if that's what you want to do. How's that sound?
That's pretty much what it was going to be. Something like, kind of like Sig's 6P227 deal, where you can put the smaller mag. That's the compact one. That's the carry that you can put the small one, the regular flush fit.
Right.
And then you can use the extended one for if I wanted to go to the range.
Sure, and that will certainly work for you. That way you've got one gun you could carry and use it for competition. And I would say congratulations, you've already identified a really good gun. I'm thinking that, let's see, Springfield Armory and I think Smith & Wesson both have guns like that where you can have the smaller gun, but you can put bigger magazines on it. The difference in sight radius is not huge, a shorter barrel versus a longer barrel. You will be a little bit more accurate with a longer barrel. It will also, and this may be more important, a longer barrel, especially if it's ported, will tend to reduce muzzle rise, and that makes the recovery more quick so that you can have faster follow-up shots in competition. That becomes important. But honestly, what you need is just something to get started. Because once you get into it, you'll find out, okay, this game is for me or it's not. If it is, you're going to end up buying another gun, and maybe another gun and another gun. But you just need to get started somehow. So let me ask you this. Have you been to a match, a USPSA match or a 3-gun match, anything like that?
Not really, but I have seen the setup. Have them set up at the range when I've been at the plinking bay at the same time.
Okay, here's my suggestion.
Set it up for that.
All right, here's what you need to do. Don't buy a gun yet. Go to a match. Talk to the competitors. Talk to the people there. Start building up some contacts. Ask them what they have. Somebody may say, well, look, I've got this gun I've been using, but I'm planning on getting rid of it. I'm going to sell it. Well, it's already been tested and used in competition, and it probably is going to work for you. But at your stage right now, I'm going to suggest you don't buy a gun, which is something I don't often say. And I think you need to go to some matches, see them, talk to people. A lot of them, like IDPA and USPSA, they have like a beginner's class. You can go in and you can even borrow the gear from somebody there, and they'll say, yeah, try this. And you can kind of get your feet wet and see if it works for you. But that's what I would do, Matthew. And look, I wish you luck with it. Congratulations on starting to think this through. You're obviously doing some research, but that's what I would do. I would go get involved in the sport before you start buying gear for it, because right now you don't really know what's going to work for you. I wish you luck. All right, 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk. Give me a holler. What are you shooting? What are you buying? And what are you thinking as we head toward November the 8th?
The XDM 3.8 Compact from Springfield Armory is 2 guns in 1. Use as your concealed carry gun with a compact magazine and use the extended magazine for home defense. Carry 13 rounds of 9mm in the compact magazine and a whopping 19 rounds in the extended magazine. To see the entire family of Springfield Armory XDM pistols, go to SpringfieldArmory.com. That's SpringfieldArmory.com.
You like free stuff, right? You like good deals, and you want more guns, ammo, and accessories. So get all of that with the free smartphone app, Gun Dealio. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you'll get special offers and deals when you walk into a gun store. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Who wouldn't want that? Gun Dealio at the App Store and Google Play. GunDealio.com.
The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle combines features of the Ruger American Rifle and innovations of the 1022 Rimfire Rifle to appeal to all bolt-action enthusiasts. It features a modular stock system that provides comb height options for scope or iron sight use, a power bedding integral bedding block system for outstanding accuracy, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, and a 1022-style rotary magazine for reliable feeding. The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Do you know Sid? If you want a gun silencer, Sid is your champion. Sid is a special kiosk powered by Silencer Shop that has shipped to more than 300 gun stores nationwide, where you and all of your trustees can register, get fingerprinted, and complete the documents necessary to own a silencer in your gun trust. Easy, ATF compliant, and you only need to visit Sid once. Sid, secure identity documentation. Learn more at silencershop.com. Making the world a quieter place.
Shooting your gun is more fun than cleaning your gun, right? Then you want Federal's newest high-tech ammo, American Eagle Syntech. With polymer-coated bullets to eliminate copper and lead fouling, clean burning powders, and the Catalyst lead-free primer, Syntech range ammunition means you clean less, shoot more, and shoot better. No copper jacket also reduces splashback when shooting steel in 9mm, 40, and 45. Visit federalpremium.com and ask your local retailer for Syntech ammo.
Laser sights increase confidence, regardless of experience level. Whether you're learning the fundamentals, a seasoned shooter, or simply overcoming aging eyes, laser sights provide instant feedback, providing immediate confidence and enjoyment for a new shooter. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our laser training video, The Laser's Edge, and learn more about why Crimson Trace is making laser sights standard equipment.
Back with you, 866 Talk Gun. Line 1, Jay's with us at Crossville, Tennessee. Hello, Jay, you're on Gun Talk.
Hello. I had a couple questions. My wife's thinking about switching to a revolver, and I know nothing about revolvers, and I'm looking at some of them have hammers, some don't. I was wondering kind of the pros and cons of that, and I also wanted to say that I used the Gun Dealio app and found a $50 rebate for military personnel that I used, and I got the $50 back from them just a little while back. And,
all right. Well, that's excellent. That Gun Dealio app, that will save you money, and you know the fact that it's free is pretty cool too. For those that don't know, it's a free app for your smartphone, Android or iPhone, to go to gundealio.com. Let me ask you, Jay, on your wife, is this going to be a self-defense gun?
Yes.
Is she going to carry it, or is it going to be just in the house?
Carry.
Okay, then I'm going to suggest she gets one without a hammer, and just get one that where you shoot it by pulling the trigger, because if it has a hammer, there's a tendency of people to go ahead and cock the hammer, and that's a bad thing in a self-defense situation, because then now you're left with a very light trigger pull, and it could easily pull the trigger inadvertently and fire a shot when you don't mean to. Jim says, plus they snag. There are really good revolvers being made today. One of the ones that we talk about a lot here, and I'm a fan, is the Ruger LCP. It's available. It's LCR. Thank you. LCP is the automatic. Jim corrects me. LCR, light compact revolver. The LCR is available in 38 Special, 357 Magnum, and in 327 Federal, which is a very neat caliber. Smith & Wesson, of course, has a gazillion revolvers, and they're all really good. Here's the thing, Jay. I'm real serious about this. You cannot buy this gun for her without her trying the gun. She's got to go into the store. She has to pick it up. She has to pull the trigger on it. And here's what I want you to do. Whichever gun it is, have her pull the trigger 12 times, an even dozen times, and see if she can do it. If she can't pull the trigger 12 times, find a different pistol, because the hammer pull is too heavy for her, okay?
Yeah, the problem she's having with the semi-auto is racking the slide. She's had, at the time she bought this gun, which I went with her, but she picked it out, and we went to a Bud's gun store. I don't know if you've heard of them, but
right. Sure.
They had a range there, and we got to try one. And as far as shooting it, she can shoot it fine, but she has trouble racking it. And since then, she's actually had surgery on the other shoulder, so now she's got two shoulders that are weak.
Okay.
And that's the reason why she's wanting to switch.
I think I like your thinking. I think a revolver may be the way to go in that circumstance, but because trigger pulls are different and depending on the strength of her hands, And the other thing is, here's where you can help her. Okay, this will be the only place that you can help. When she is trying the gun in the store, have her grip the handle as high on the handle as humanly possible. There's a tendency to grip it low, and it makes the trigger really hard to pull. The higher you grip on the handle, two things happen. Is the trigger is easier to pull, but also she will experience a lot less recoil when she's shooting it. If you can get to a range where she can actually shoot them, that's going to be the best way to go. Try several different guns. And remember that if you get a 357 Magnum, you can shoot 38 specials in it to have low recoil. So, but I think your thinking is right. Just make sure that she gets to test them. Hey, Jay, I appreciate the call. I got to keep moving here. Ralph is on line 3 out of Louisiana. Hey, Ralph, you're on Gun Talk.
Tom, I've got something that a fellow gave me that it's an odd thing. It's a Russian-made starlight scope called a Cyclops NS2.
Yeah, a bunch of those were brought in over the years. I think they may still be being brought in. But I gather yours, as they say, it don't move no more. It's broken.
California, but they don't answer the phone.
Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of these got imported by people who are not there anymore. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how much did you pay for this thing?
Oh, it was gave to me, but somebody else paid like about $1,800 for it.
Yeah,
they loaned it to somebody, and when it came back, it didn't work no more.
Oh. It's kind of like the gun I loaned to a fellow one time for his kid to use. When it came back, he had chopped the stock down on my gun that I loaned him. Couldn't believe it. You never know what's going to happen out there. I do not have a source for that. I just don't. The only thing I can suggest is doing a little Google search for it. And beyond that, I can't help you, Ralph. I wish I could, but I'm just out of luck on this one. I appreciate the call. Line 4, Chuck, Georgia. Hunting for calibers. You're in Ohio. You're shooting deer in Ohio, Chuck?
Well, I'm going to be moving back next year when I retire, and I'd like to know if there's any significant performance advantages between 375 Winchester, 444 Marlin, or 4570 Government.
Of the three, I think the 444 Marlin is the more powerful. The 4570 can be had in light loads and heavier loads. And the reason he's asking about this is in Ohio, you can use straight wall calibers, if I remember right. Is that correct, Chuck, on your rifles?
Correct.
The main thing is to get a rifle that you like. Any of those will work. If it were me, just because I'd like bigger holes, I would go with the 444 or the 4570. When you do that, to get an extra 50 or 100 yards of use out of them, of range, take a look at Hornady's ammo that's called Lever Evolution. It uses pointed bullets, and it will turn a 444 into a 300-yard rifle. It really reduces the drop by using good pointed bullets in there. You cannot use hand-load regular pointed bullets in a tubular magazine. Like the lever action rifles have, because one cartridge sits on top of the other, so you have the hard point of one poking into the primer of the next one. And that whole thing is, they're held together by spring, and as the gun recoils, these cartridges are flying back and forth and smacking on top of each other, and you can imagine what would happen if you had a pointy bullet hitting the primer. But on the Hornady ammo, they use a softer polymer point on their bullets, and it will not set off the primer of the cartridge that's right above it. But yeah, take a look at that. I would think find one you like, and yeah, you can certainly use pistol calibers, 44 Magnum, 357. And if you're going to be shooting inside of 200 yards, that would be fine. But if you want that extra 50 or 100 yards, I would go with one of the probably the 444 is my guess. Although I have shot 300 yards with the 4570 using that Lever Evolution ammo. Works really well. So a lot of options out there, and really not much of a handicap to be used with straight wall calibers out there. I mean, not a lot of deer. Despite the bragging being done, not a lot of deer are shot beyond 250 or 300. And a lot of those 300-yard shots, if you walk them out, they're going to be under 200. That's the reality. 866 Talk Gun. point we had the call about the revolver, and then the one guy asked about using the straight wall cartridges in Ohio. I'm actually starting to think about getting a revolver for myself. I'm going to be spending a fair amount of time out west in areas where there really are mountain lions and bears and things. And I don't think a 9 is enough. I generally carry a 9. And so I'm thinking maybe a revolver. Maybe a 44, maybe a 357. Kind of like the 4-inch barrel. Really, I think what I'd like would be a 3-inch barrel. So I'm poking around on the website. So I don't know. I don't know which way I'm going to go yet, but I'll let you know. I keep working on it, okay? I just keep working on it. Let's talk to Frank for a second. He's on line 3. First-time listener. Hey, Frank, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
I was just wondering, if Hillary Clinton does get elected and she is able to take away our gun rights and take away all of our other guns that we have now, well, what's going to stop any other country from coming in and taking us over?
Well, one would hope that we would have an effective, active military, but of course we know how much Hillary hates the military, hates people who are in the military, hates her Secret Service agents. She's always dropping the F-bomb on them. Stay the F away from me. Keep 10 feet away from me. Pick up those effing bags. When one Secret Service agent just said, good morning, Madam First President, she says, F you. I mean, she's a disgusting human being, and her hate for our military. And I think that she would continue, not do it, but continue Obama's program of gutting the military. So to your point, I think it would leave us vulnerable on so many fronts. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate that. She really is a despicable human being when you read about what she has done and how she treats people who are there to help her to protect her life. It's quite amazing, the arrogance, the entitlement. And now, of course, we have all these emails, so we're starting to find out more and more about it, of criminal activity. I mean, come on, it's criminal activity. If you would like to have access to the Secretary of State, all you have to do is give $17 million to the Clinton Foundation. Oh, really? So that's how it works, huh? Sure. Not sure what's going to come out of this latest batch of emails. We probably won't even know about what's in there before the election. There's only 9 days. But look, here's the deal. They took their phones, and they knew that the FBI wanted the phones and wanted to know what's on them, and so they took hammers to them and crushed them and beat them into smithereens. That's not the act of an innocent person. You don't do that when you have nothing to hide. The only reason you do that is because I fear what the FBI may find on my phone. They thought they had deleted all the emails. But now it turns out, of course, we have the whole WikiLeaks thing, but even more than that, now there are tens of thousands of emails that have been found on Anthony Weiner's computer. Don't know what we're going to find out. It'll probably be after the election. I think most of us have kind of figured out where we are on this. And the polls are showing a swing. 9 days. We've got November 8th is the election. November 9th is what happens then. I guess I would just ask you to give some thought to, perfect isn't running this year, and we don't have Mr. Wonderful to choose. But we certainly do have a very clear choice. Talk it up with your friends, consider it, and just realize, okay, this is when sometimes it's painful to be a grown-up and to do the big boy or big girl thing, but you got to do it, and you know what you need to do. So get on board. In the meantime, now would be a good time to renew or join the NRA. We're going to need every member. We're going to need to triple that membership. Simple as that. In the meantime, check your 6, be safe, go shooting, love your family.